Hello everyone. So in our last session, we have discussed regarding the prehistoric age, covering key periods like Paleolithic age, then Mesolithic age, even Neolithic age. We have also discussed regarding what are the important sites that highlight early human settlements in India, even the processes like tool making, how they have come up with new ideas like agriculture, how their culture has evolved, and also we have discussed regarding the Bronze Age. So the Bronze Age has marked a cultural shift in the human civilization and even advancements in metallurgy like new process of tool making and even urbanization as well as a trade. So during this period, the Indus Valley civilization emerged as one of the world's earliest and most sophisticated urban culture within the Bronze Age itself, and flourished in the present day India and Pakistan region, northwestern part of India, western and the northwestern part of India, as well as the parts of Pakistan. So this is one of the world's oldest and the most fascinating and the sophisticated civilization. So Indus Valley civilization, it was also known as the Harappan civilization. Okay, so during this period itself, in the Bronze Age itself, there were many other contemporary civilizations were also there. For example, you might have heard regarding the Mesopotamian civilization, regarding the Mesopotamian civilization, and also the ancient Egyptian civilization. Ancient Egyptian civilization, and also in China also there was a very popular dynasty during this period, that was a Shang dynasty. Shang dynasty in China. So all these were contemporaries in the Bronze Age, and so Indus Valley is also one of the most important civilization during this particular period. Okay, Mesopotamian is one of the oldest civilization itself. Egyptian and even the Shang dynasty is also culturally, as well as even whether you take trade or whatever it be, it is one of the most sophisticated civilization, and Indus Valley also we can include in that particular list. So the time period of Indus Valley is between 2600 BC, somewhere around 2600 BC. The most important phase of Indus Valley civilization is 2600 BC to somewhere around 1900 or maybe 1600 BC. Okay, so this is something which is debated, but still somewhere around this period we can include the Indus Valley civilization. So we'll, in this particular session, we'll break it down like the location, what were the features of Indus Valley civilization, how the Indus society was it. All these things we'll be discussing in this particular session. Okay. All right. First, regarding the location and extent of Indus Valley civilization. Okay. So regarding the location and extent of Indus Valley civilization, I've already mentioned Indus Valley civilization flourished in northwestern part of India, as well as Pakistan. Even maybe can include Afghanistan also, parts of, but predominantly it's in the India and Pakistan region. 1.5 million square kilometer. 1.5 million square kilometer. That was the extent of Indus Valley civilization, present day Pakistan as well as the northwestern part of India, and even sometimes Afghanistan also. So why it is known as Indus Valley civilization? Because the civilization thrived along the banks of the Indus River as well as the tributaries. In geography, you might have studied regarding the Indus as well as the tributaries. Ravi, we have Bias, we have Jalam, Ravi, Bias, Jalam, we have Satluj, and obviously Indus is also one of the Chenab, and Indus. Okay, so these are the tributaries of Indus. Okay, so the Indus Valley civilization thrived along the banks of this Indus as well as its tributaries. Indus as well as these tributaries which extended in both India as well as the present day Pakistan. Okay, so if you take the Indian extent, you can see that it is somewhere starting from the western part of UP itself, and it includes Haryana, regions of Haryana. Again, it includes regions of Rajasthan. Again, it is going back to regions of Gujarat also. Okay, and even the regions of Pakistan. Okay, so along the tributaries of Indus as well, Indus and its tributaries, you can see the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, all right. So regarding the origin of Indus Valley regarding the discovery of Indus Valley civilization, the civilization was first discovered during the British rule. That was in 1921. It was discovered in 1921 in a place known as Harappa. in a place known as Harappa. Here you can see in the map, you can see this is Harappa. Okay, so Harappa in 1921, it was discovered during the British rule in 1921. So Harappa is in Pakistan, present day Punjab region of Pakistan. So it was discovered by a famous historian and archaeologist. He was Dayaram Sani. It was Dayaram Sani. So Dayaram Sani discovered the first site on Indus Valley civilization in 1921 in present day Pakistan, Punjab region of Pakistan, that is Harappa. Okay, so that is why, since Harappa was the first site to be discovered in this Indus Valley civilization, that's why the civilization is also known as the Harappan civilization. So later, many more sites were discovered, many more ruins or sites were discovered in along the banks of this Indus as well as its tributaries. And one of the major sites discovered after the discovery of Harappa was in Mohenjo-Daro. It was in Mohenjo-Daro. It was discovered in 1922. It was discovered in 1922 by R.D. Banerjee. By R.D. Banerjee. Okay, by R.D. Banerjee, 1922 by R.D. Banerjee. Okay, so this is in the Sindh region. Okay, so this is Harappa, this is Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, so this is in the Punjab region of Pakistan. This is in the Sindh region of Pakistan. Okay, so this was found by Dayaram Sani. This was found by R.D. Banerjee. Another important person has also played a very crucial role in this excavation and result of the research of this Harappan or maybe the Indus Valley civilization, that is John Marshall. British Sir John Marshall. Okay, so these are the three important personalities. Many are there, but these are the three important personalities associated with this Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so the civilization is believed to have developed independently from the earlier we had this Neolithic culture. So after that we had this Chalcolithic culture. So in that we had the Bronze Age. So Indus Valley is also coming in the that only, but it is developed independently from the earlier local Neolithic cultures. Okay, and but even though it had many contemporary cultures like Mesopotamia was there, even the Central Asian culture was there. So they had influences. Indus Valley is also having influences from them, but still it developed very much independently. Okay, all right. So like every civilization, Indus Valley, we have said that Indus Valley is from around 3600 to 1900 BC. Okay, so Indus Valley civilization also, like many civilization, Indus Valley civilization also developed in different phases only. We can divide the Indus Valley civilization into three phases. Maybe we can more phase also, but I have divided it into three important phases according to the popular belief. Okay, first one is the early Harappan phase. So that's from 3300 to 2600 BC. We have the early Harappan phase. Okay, so we have already in the last class we have already discussed regarding the beginning of agriculture during this, which started in the Mesolithic culture. Maybe it became very much prominent during the Neolithic phase also. So in this early Harappan phase, we can see that little more advanced agriculture is beginning in this particular early Harappan phase. So slowly the agriculture led to communities also. Okay, so farming villages are coming. Farming villages are coming. Okay, one of the important feature of this Chalcolithic period of the Bronze Age is this farming villages slowly shifted towards civilization. Okay, so that's what happened here. So here we can see that farming villages, more advanced farming villages are coming in this particular time period, and also even advanced technologies like pottery is coming, even trade networks are coming. So that also we can more artistic ways of pottery, even the trade networks between other farming villages, that is also coming. Okay, so all these things we can see in the early Harappan phase. Slowly from farming villages, it is gradually urbanizations are coming. Okay, from the rural, it is, you can see the transition towards a urbanization. Okay, slowly the regional cultures have evolved. Okay, so next one is the mature Harappan phase. So this is the most prominent or the most important phase of this Indus Valley civilization, the mature Harappan phase, 2600 to 1900 BC, mature Harappan phase. So here you can see that almost all the features which I am going to discuss regarding this Indus Valley civilization is from this particular mature Harappan phase only. So here we can see the peak period of the civilization, peak period of the Harappan or maybe the Indus Valley civilization we can see in this mature Harappan phase 2600 to 1900 BC. Okay, all right. So we'll be discussing this later because all the features are coming, most of the features are coming from this particular period only. Okay, in the later period, the late Harappan phase, we can see that this from this mature there is a gradual decline. Gradual decline is coming. The rural settlements from the urbanization, we can see that the rural settlements have increased, and in the trade networks we had with this Mesopotamian or maybe the other civilization, that is also collapsing, and also the urban life had finally led to the urban life had disappeared, and that finally led to the collapse of the civilization itself. Okay, so this is how we can actually divide the Indus Valley civilization into three different phases. Okay, all right. So like I've said, here we'll be discussing, mostly focusing on the mature phase of this Harappan civilization. Okay, so most important feature of this Harappan civilization, or maybe someone is saying that we are discussing about Harappan civilization, we should definitely discuss something known as something like the urban planning of the Harappan civilization. They are master planners known for their urban planning or maybe the town planning itself. Okay, it was an urban civilization, so obviously their town planning is very much important. Okay, all right. So here the most important feature of this Harappan civilization, sorry, the Harappan city, obviously it's an urban center. So Harappan cities are divided into two distinct spaces. Okay, one is a citadel. This is a citadel, and this is a lower town. So we have one is a citadel, another one is a lower town. Okay, citadel and lower town. Okay, so if you are taking this way, it will be like this. Okay, this will be citadel and this will be lower town. Okay, so what is the difference? Citadel will be little upraised. Citadel will be little upraised from the ground level. So this is how the cities are defined. Okay, so here we will be seeing the important buildings will be here in citadel, and here again the lower town buildings will be here in this area. Okay, here you can see the other view, you can see here. This is a, I mean, like this horizontal view you can see. Okay, so this will be upraised. So this is the main area. So what is the other significance of citadel? Why it has been upraised? Because citadel is the most important or maybe the most elite place in the this Indus Valley town or the Harappan towns. Okay, so citadel will be mostly fortified area. So there the elite buildings will be there. Elite buildings, maybe religious structures will be there. Here itself you can see what are the things you can see in the citadel, like the city walls will be there. The important granaries will be there. Bathing spaces, everything will be there. Most of the important features of this cities will be there in the citadel only. Okay, so lower town means it will be mostly the local people will be inhabiting in this area. So that is a lower town. Okay, the residential area, maybe sometimes the industrial area will also be there in the lower town. Okay, all right. So this is how the design of the Harappan cities going in this particular way only. Okay, all right. So Indus Valley civilization, like I already mentioned, it's very much remarkably advanced, and it is having a lot of features distinct from other civilizations or maybe the other counterparts. Okay, one is a grid pattern streets. One is a grid pattern streets. Okay, so grid pattern streets means you know what is a grid, right? Like this way, the streets will be designed in this particular way. Okay, so here we'll be having this houses or whatever it will be there, and the roads will be going in this parallel way, and it will be intersecting also. So this is the grid pattern streets will be there. Okay, the roads running at the right angles. Okay, the roads will be running in the right angle. So this is grid system or the grid pattern street or the grid style of plan that we can see in this area. Okay, another important feature is the underground drainage system. Underground drainage system. Many people say that the type of advanced drainage system which Harappans were having, even now also we are not having that kind of an advanced drainage system. So Harappan drainage system was that much sophisticated, and also it will be covered. This drains will be covered. All the drains will be covered. It will be underground and it will be covered using this burnt bricks and all. It will be covered. Okay, so that's also sock pits will be there. So like that way it will be covered. And also they had a standardized brick system. They had a standardized brick system. So earlier people were living in the caves only. So now this is an urban civilization towards the rivers. They were in the banks of the rivers only. They need a new material. So they started using bricks, baked bricks they started using, and even the bricks were also standardized. What do you mean by standardization of bricks? The bricks will be having, it's not like one brick will be like this, other brick will be like this. It's not like that. The way in which we are using this bricks now, right? They also use the same way only. Even through excavations and all, we have got the ratio of that bricks also. It is 1:2:4. 1:2:4. Okay, so this is the ratio of the standardized bricks which we are getting in Harappan civilization. And also they were having very vast granaries also. Vast granaries were also part of this Harappan civilization. So what is the purpose of granaries? To storing the grain only. Surplus grains will be there. Okay, after consumption surplus grains will be there, that can be used in a different time period. Okay, so that surplus grains will also be stored in this vast granary. So that was also there. Okay, another important distinct feature of this Harappan civilization is the public baths. It is a public baths. So public bath means it will be a huge bathing area. It will be a huge bathing area will be there. Impressive bathing spaces will be there. So mostly there are many arguments regarding what is the purpose of this. Some people say just for hygiene purpose. Some people say that it's for ritualistic purpose or maybe the ritual purification. Now also we have this kind of baths. Even water based purification is very much important, like you have seen in Kumbh Mela and all. So this public baths are very important for this ritual purification. So that is also one of the important features of this urban planning in Harappan civilization. And one of the most famous uh, public bath is the Great Bath. The Great Bath in Mohenjo-Daro. The Great Bath which we can see in Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, so that is one of the most important or the most impressive public baths which we have excavated. Okay, I'll show you that. This is a great bath, the Great Bath in Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, so this is said to be used for a ritualistic purpose. Ritualistic purpose. So even many arguments are there regarding this public bath, but still this is one of the argument which is kind of I mean approved by almost all the historians. Okay, all right. Coming to the society of this Harappan civilization. Coming to the society and the social structure of this Harappan civilization. So it is said that Harappans might have an administrative system distinct from the usual monarchy. Usual monarchy means it will be a king will be there. A king will be the head of the state and maybe the area, and he will be ruling that. Okay. Now we have a president or maybe the prime minister will be ruling. So they might be having a different set of administration. That's what it is said regarding uh, Harappan civilization, the Indus Valley civilization. So one of the things which is approved is they were not having a monarchy. They were not having a monarchy, but they were having a different administrative system. No evidence of kings were there. Okay, and even a central authority was also not there. So many historians are saying that possibly they were ruled by a group of elites. So instead of this monarchy, they were ruled by a group of elites or maybe priests itself. Okay, priest itself. So anyway, the administration was very much organized. The administration was very much organized. Okay, and also the trade was also very much organized. Trade, the economic system was also very much organized. Earlier we have discussed that. Earlier I've told that the bricks, they have standardized the bricks like 1:2:4 ratio. They have standardized the bricks. So here we can see that even the weights and measures also they have standard. Why? Because for an organized trade it is very much necessary. So the weights and measures, the weights and measures. So that also they have weights and measures also they have standardized it. Okay, so that's also one of the important features of this Harappan civilization. So like maybe the later periods and all, social classes were present. There was a hierarchy. Even I told that elites will be maybe they will be part of this administration. So here social classes were present. Social classes were present, but still that was not like in the like not kind of toxic like how it was in the later periods. Okay, so even there was no no extreme hierarchy was there, and also there was no evidence of slavery. So it might have been a better or maybe or egalitarian society. Okay, so ideally it was a peaceful society. That's what it is said about Harappan civilization. Why? Because if a society is constantly engaging in war or something, they will be having a lot of weapons. Okay, so Harappans didn't have. I mean, it's not like didn't have. Mostly it will be tools only. Weapons were not a common feature. Weapons were not a prominent feature of the Harappan civilization. Okay, so that's why it is said that Harappan might have been a peaceful society, and no signs of a very large scale warfare is also not there. Even though it is disputed, it is said that no evidence of horses also there. Okay, it's a war and all, maybe horses are very much important, but that is also not seen here. Okay, all right. So regarding the religion of Harappan, or maybe the religious beliefs of Harappan, they were also having religious belief, like the latest societies and all, they were also having the religious beliefs with it, but no evidence of temples. No temples. Again, this is also disputed only, but as of now, we can say that no evidence of temples. No temples were there in this. Or maybe even no large palaces were also there. Okay, no temples shows that they were not into that kind of a temple kind of a worship, or no palaces says that even though elites were there, no kind of monarchical structure was there in Harappan civilization. Okay, but still they had their own worship. So there we can see that one important thing is a mother goddess. So they worshipped a mother goddess, a female deity. A female deity was worshipped. So this mother goddess was often seen as a symbol of fertility, as seen as a symbol of fertility, seen as a symbol of mother goddess is seen as a symbol of fertility. Okay, and also we can see that there was a concept of proto Shiva. We know how Shiva is like. Okay, so this is the concept of proto Shiva. From a seal we can see that this proto Shiva. Okay, maybe later period and all, we have this Shaivite practice begin there. So this seal is known as the Pashupati seal. This seal is known as the Pashupati seal. Okay, so this is considered as a symbol of a maybe the as a proto Shiva. Okay, earlier forms of the Shaivism, Shaivite worship. Other than that, they had a normal worship, like they worship natural symbols. For example, they worship trees, they worship animals, and animals itself they had distinct figures like unicorn, even humped bull. So like that way, their beliefs were little more diverse. Okay, so like that way they had different set of beliefs. Okay, not like the temple kind of worship which we had, but still we can see that the earlier forms of Shaivism we can see, but still other than that, it was even the female worship was a female deity worship was also there. Okay, all right. Even in the through the seals and all, we can see different types of symbols were also part of this seal, like swastika symbol, which we now also it is prominent. Even the people tree symbol. So like that way, symbols were also mostly based on the nature symbols were also part of this. Okay, all right. So coming to the Harappan script, we can see that Harappan script is undeciphered. Harappan script is undeciphered. So Harappan script is said to have more than 400 plus symbols. As of the present seals which we have discovered, Harappan script is having 400 plus symbols are there in Harappan script. 400 plus symbols are there in Harappan script, and almost all these are found in the seals only. Okay, all these are found in the seals only. Okay, so these scripts mostly it will be pictographic. Okay, these scripts will be pictographic. Pictographic, like the Egyptian symbols and all. This is also pictographic. So pictographic means a system where symbols represent the objects. Symbols represent objects or even the ideas through visual resemblance. So that is pictographic, or maybe it is also known as logosyllabic. It's also known as logosyllabic. Okay, either pictographic or logosyllabic, like a logo. Okay, so this is something which is said about the script, and it is not deciphered. It is not deciphered. Okay, why? Because we have over 400 plus symbols in Harappan script, and it was we don't have any particular reference. Also nowadays there have been debates on deciphering this Harappan script. Why? Because even the Tamil Nadu government, they have announced a very huge what monetary benefit for those who will be deciphering the Harappan script. So like that way, it is also there. Okay. All right. So they were a very master, like they were very much like they were master town planners. So they were very skilled in making sculptures also, very skilled in making sculptures also. So art and culture in Harappan is very important, very important. Even the seals also, you can see that kind of a thing you can see in the seals also. But still, this is specifically seals. Sometimes seals will be used for the trade purpose. Okay, seals will be used for the trade purpose. But here, this is used specifically for uh, art purpose only. Okay, so they make sculptures in various materials, like bronze sculptures will be there, even terracotta sculptures will be there. So like that way, different sculptures will be there. The most prominent of the Harappan sculpture is a bronze dancing girl, the bronze dancing girl. Okay, this is the most prominent one. Again, this we have got from Mohenjo-Daro. We have got from Mohenjo-Daro. So this is bronze only. So Harappan is part of the Bronze Age. Harappan is part of the Bronze Age only. Okay, so obviously bronze was very much prominent during this period. So how they were using sculptures, making sculptures using this bronze? They used a very important technique known as the lost wax casting technique. They used a very important technique known as the lost wax casting technique, known as a lost wax casting technique. Okay, lost wax casting technique means the mold will be there. A mold will be there. So how if you want to make this kind of a sculpture, you will make a mold out of it, a hollow mold out of it. So in that you will be pouring this bronze. Okay, you will be melting this bronze and you will be pouring that inside that. So once it gets solidified, you will be breaking that mold, and you will be taking this out. Okay, so this is something known as a lost wax casting technique. Okay, it's a very unique technique. It was, maybe we can say that Harappans only found this technique. So it reflects a artistic finesse as well as with their metal casting skill. Why? Because they were part of the Bronze Age. Okay, all right. So the bearded priest. So the bearded priest, that was carved from steatite. That was carved from steatite. So this suggests that even religion was also very much important. So that's why priest was coming. Okay, the bearded priest statue. Again, this also we got it from. So this is the bronze dancing girl. Okay, dancing girl. This is a statue of the bearded priest. Okay, so priesthood was also very much important in this Harappan. Even you can see that how groomed he is. He is very well groomed. Okay, the beard, everything is very well groomed, much groomed than myself. So another important thing is the mother goddess. Another important thing is the mother goddess. Again, we have already discussed they were having a female deity worship. Okay, female deity worship. So mother goddess is one of the important female deities which they have worship. Okay, so that is also very much important. So this mother goddess was signifying the fertility. Okay, fertility. All right. Again, regarding the seals, we have already discussed what is a seals. Most prominent seal was the Pashupati seal. Okay, so Pashupati seal, that suggests there was a religious symbolism was there. Like maybe you can say that the earlier forms of Shaivism. Okay, but mostly seals were used for trade and administration. Sometimes people say that seals were also used for being an amulet. Used as amulet. Amulet means what will be wearing in the hand, or maybe body will be wearing like so as a protection or something. So that is amulet. Okay, so like that way also it was used. Okay, so that is also another important thing. Most important material which they have used for seals, or maybe even the bearded priest statue also. So that is steatite. That is steatite. Steatite, or we call it as a soapstone. Steatite or the soapstone. Okay, so this is one of the important things which they have used, predominantly used for making the seals. And other than this Pashupati seal, the common seals, it will be having depicting other figurine, human figurines will be there, and maybe this animals will also be there. But still, we were not able to decipher what was there. Okay, decipher the script, that was not uh, possible. Okay, all right. So Pashupati seal, I'll show one more time. This is Pashupati seal. Here also you can see that a lot of symbols are there. A lot of symbols depicting the religious symbolism you can see in this particular thing. Okay, all right. So another important feature of this Harappan society, they had a very distinct agricultural system, very distinct advanced agricultural system, and even they did the domestication of animals also. Okay, advanced agricultural system, domestication of animals, and even the industrial progress is also very much important. Okay, all right. So they had an advanced agricultural farming technique. Farming technique means obviously irrigation is also very important. But why? Because they were the civilization thrived around the banks of Indus River only. Banks of Indus River only. So obviously, um, Indus River only. So obviously, irrigation from the main source of their livelihood itself was a what the river water from Indus for farming. Okay, so these were the crops grown by this Indus people. These were the crops grown by the Indus people: wheat, barley, rice, cotton, peas, mustard, sesame, and dates. Some of the important crops grown by the people. Okay, and also they domesticated animals in Neolithic culture, in Mesolithic culture. Mesolithic culture domestication started in the Mesolithic culture. In the Neolithic culture, it became more prominent. More animals are getting domesticated. Again, in the Chalcolithic also it became prominent. Again, in the Bronze Age, it is becoming more animals are coming. Indus Valley civilization, they are using this as one of the important sources for many purposes. Okay, all right. So they domesticated cattle, they domesticated buffalo, sheep, goats, even elephants were also part of this Harappan civilization. Okay, and from a very important place from which we have got a plough. A plough has been, or maybe the plowed field has been excavated from a place known as Kalibangan in India. From Kalibangan, we have got a plowed field. Okay, evidence of a plowed field has been got from Kalibangan. Okay, so it suggests that they were using farming tools. Why? Because plow is needed for this making this plowed field, right? Okay, so Harappans also had a very advanced industrial system also. Very advanced industrial. The industries were also very much diverse. For example, they had one is the bead making industry. Bead making industry. So this is something very much near to the port of Lothal. Okay, Lothal. Lothal is in Gujarat. Gujarat, we have the port of Lothal. Okay, Lothal. So obviously they had a very huge ties, very huge ties with. So here is Lothal. So they had huge cultural ties with almost all parts of the world itself, from to Egypt, Mesopotamia, Persia. So like that way, they had very huge cultural ties with different parts of the world itself. Okay. All right. So we have discussed beard making and also pottery. Pottery is also very important. So the pottery which is prominent during Harappan period, we call it as a red and black pottery. We call it as a red and black pottery. Red and black pottery of the red and black pottery of Harappan civilization. So even pottery also they have used for different purpose. One we have already discussed for storing the grains. That was one purpose. Another important purpose was for decorative purposes. Pottery was used as a decorative item. So for that, painted pottery was there. Plain pottery was also there. Painted pottery was also there. Okay, so here we can see that painted pottery, even plain pottery. So like that, two important pottery were there. Okay. All right, so that's also very important. So other than that, they had textile industry. So why? Because cotton. Cotton was used for making textiles. Okay, cotton was used for making textiles. So textile cultivation. So here also in Harappan, we can see the one of the earliest evidence of cotton cultivation in the world, and through that cotton textiles also. Okay, even the terracotta figurines also, they made terracotta figurine making industries were also there. Okay, and obviously seals are very much important for trade as well as maybe for other purpose, like I've said, like amulet making, or maybe for other worshipping purposes like Protoshiva and all. So that seal making industry was also very much important. So basically, Harappan economy was highly developed. Harappan economy was highly developed. Even Harappan trade was also highly developed, as well as it had a huge reach was also there for this Harappan trade. Okay, so they had trade. We can include two important trades. Like one, internal trade will be there, and another one, external trade will be there. So internal trade means within the Harappan cities. For example, from Dholavira to Mohenjo-Daro, Mohenjo-Daro to because this is a very huge civilization, 1.6 square kilometer civilization. So obviously they should be having their own ties. Cotton will be in one area only. Okay, wheat will be in one area only, rice will be in one area only. So they had to have this kind of movement between the goods, okay, and also they need to have external trade also. Why? Because this cotton, we have already discussed that this is the first evidence of cotton cultivation in the world is. So other countries might be, so other civilization might be requiring the cotton, okay. So they need to export this to other civilization, and also in other civilization something will be there. So they need to import that thing also. So obviously the trade relationship also be there. So how we came to know that this Indus Valley civilization had trades? Because in other civilizations, for example, like the Mesopotamian records. So Mesopotamian records have mentioned about this Indus Valley civilization. They call it as Meluha. They call it as Meluha. Indus Valley civilization, they call it as Meluha. Okay, so we believe that this Meluha is believed to be the Indus region. Okay, so all those things they have what trade. Okay, and even Lothal was one of the important ports also. Okay, in Gujarat, Lothal. So obviously, here we have the Lothal port. So obviously, the trade was very much important in this Indus Valley civilization. That was a major. Okay, all right. So somehow, so this is actually the all the features which I've discussed is from the mature phase of Harappan civilization. Okay, mature phase of Harappan civilization means after that, in the later period, what happened? Decline. The Harappan civilization declined in the later phase of the uh, civilization. Okay, so what were the reasons for the decline of this Harappan civilization? We'll discuss what were the reasons. So many people are saying that many reasons were there for the Harappan civilization. So there is no concrete evidence regarding how exactly the Harappan or Indus Valley civilization declined. So however, many historians are saying that they are suggested different theories. Okay, so one is the Indus Valley civilization may have been driven by decline has been driven by climate change. Okay, so climate change happened. So obviously climate change, the Harappans were very much, Harappan civilization was also known as Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so Harappan civilization declined. So Indus, so due to climate change, Indus and its tributaries dried up. So Indus dried up means obviously agriculture will be declining. Agriculture will be declining. Okay, agriculture will be declining means trade will be declining. Trade will be declining. So trade will be declining means money will be less. Money will be less means resources will be less. So like that way, resources will be less. So like that way, it might have declined. So this is one possible theory which they have said. Okay. So other than that, even though there is no evidence that Indus has dried, but still one of the important tributaries which is said to be of Indus is the Saraswati. Saraswati. So even it is known as the Indus Saraswati. Some areas it is known as the Indus Saraswati civilization also. So this river is hypothesized to be flowed east of this Indus river. Okay, and this Saraswati has been a very crucial source for this Indus Valley civilization people. Okay, so that is one theory which has been put forward. Okay, so again, impacted agriculture and settlement patterns were also impacted. Okay, another important thing is the natural disasters. Natural disaster, for example, floods and earthquakes were there. Okay, some people say that. So one theory is like climate change happened and the Saraswati dried up. Another theory is saying that there was an overflow. There was an overflow of this river. Okay, overflow of this river, and that led to flood, and obviously that led to agriculture decline. Overflow of this river means agriculture fields that got wiped up, and again trade decline, money decline, resources decline. So like that way, they might have declined. Another theory is earthquakes. So huge earthquake struck this area. So in this, especially in the Gujarat region and all, that is earthquake prone. That could have devastated the cities. Okay, so that maybe collapse the long distance trade and maybe increase the decrease the economic stability of these people. Okay, so again, whatever it be, even whatever it be, due to both these things, agriculture has declined and obviously trade has also declined. Okay, so many resources have declined. Another important theory which is brought by historians are, one is the Aryan invasion theory. Aryan invasion theory. Okay, so this is a strong proponent of this Aryan invasion theory is Mortimer Wheeler. It is Mortimer Wheeler. So Mortimer Wheeler has proposed that Aryan invasion theory. Mortimer Wheeler proposed the Aryan invasion theory. Okay, so according to this Aryan invasion theory, Indo-Aryan migrants, so Indo-Aryan migrants from different areas. Okay, while studying the Vedic civilization, we'll discuss the migration theory and all will be discussed. So whatever it be, from there they came, that we'll be discussing later. Somehow they came, this group of people known as Aryans, they came to India, or maybe they came to this place where the Harappans were prominent. They invaded this area, and maybe they might have had some conflicts, and the Harappans were wiped out. Okay, so that's also another important theory. Some people say that there is this theories are lacking a very strong archaeological evidence is lacking. Okay, anyway, Aryans came to India, that is there, but because of this Aryan invasion, Harappans have declined. So that is lacking some evidence. So that is also there. Okay, so anyway, decline of trade happened, and after that, resource depletion might have also been very important a thing. For example, deforestation might have led to environmental degradation, and this region might have had it have become unsustainable for continued habitation. So people might have fled, people might have gone to migrated to some other area. So like that way. Okay, so theories are evolving, new and new theories are also coming. Some people say that even the Harappan Aryans were also part of the Harappan. So like that way, theories are also there, but there is no concrete evidence regarding what happened. Okay, so these are some of the important theories which are saying that, or maybe we can combine most of these theories. Maybe we can combine. Why? Because some theories saying that after the decline of Harappan, there is actually a period where we don't know what exactly happened. So after that, only Aryans came to this particular region. So like that way, things are also there. Okay, all right. Anyway, the civilization declined. Okay, but still the Harappan or the Indus Valley civilization, it had its own legacy. First and foremost, that is a urban planning. Urban planning, their very huge drainage system, their kind of what grid pattern drainage, grid pattern settlement systems were there. So all these things influence a later civilization, and if, like I've said, some people say that even in present day also we were not able to achieve the progress of maybe that kind of a achievement which Harappans were able to make in the drainage system or maybe in the urban planning itself. Okay, and also they had a very importantly they had standardized their weights measures, and even the trade systems also they have uh, standardized. So that also influenced the later commerce, not just in India but all across the world, or maybe the later civilization also. Okay, even though Harappans were not having a proper temple-like structure, they were having some sort of religious beliefs will be there. Okay, maybe the female deities are coming like Mother Goddess, or maybe the Proto Shiva, the Pashupati worship was there. So that was also maybe later incorporated into the Hindu traditions, like the Shaivite concept was coming. That is also very much important. Okay, and regarding the economy, the cotton production, the earliest evidence, so maybe the first evidence of this cotton production and the textile industry we can see in the in the Harappan civilization that later continued to the Vedic times also. Okay, so these are some of the important legacies which this Harappans have kept for us. Okay, all right. Now we'll see some of the previous year questions in this. We'll see some of the practice questions from this area. Okay, based on what we have discussed only can answer. All right, first question. Consider the following statements. The period of Indus Valley civilization worshipped a mother goddess. Okay. Second statement, there is clear evidence of temples and religious structures in major Indus cities. Okay, it's a very direct statement only. People of Indus Valley civilization worship mother goddess. Mother goddess is said to be a symbol of fertility. Said to be a symbol of fertility itself. Okay, so this statement is correct. We have already discussed. I have shown the image and all how it was. Okay. Second one, there is a clear evidence of temples. There is a clear evidence of temples and religious structures in the major in the cities. Okay. Some people say there were temples. Again, this is also disputed, but there is no clear evidence of religious structures in the major Indus cities. Okay. First statement is correct. Second statement is wrong. So which all are the correct statements? Only one is a correct statement. Okay, one is a correct statement. All right, next one. Which of the following factors are considered possible reasons for the decline of Indus Valley? It's a possible reasons. Okay, Aryan invasion. This is possible. Okay, even though some of the historians have completely discarded this, but there is a possibility. Some people are saying that this is possibility. Like Wheeler has said that Mortimer Wheel has said that this is possible. Okay, so we cannot discard this particular theory even though it is debated. So this we can take it. Climate change is there. Climate change also, two different things might have happened, either floods or droughts. Either floods might have happened or droughts might have happened. Okay, so climate change is also very important. Climate change is also one of the possibility. We can take that. Anyway, because of climate change, their trade has declined. So that is also correct. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You can say 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that is possible reasons for decline of civilization. Okay. Next one, which of the following artifacts are associated with Indus Valley civilization? Dancing girl of Mohenjo-Daro. Dancing girl of Mohenjo-Daro. So again, this is a very popular bronze sculpture. Very popular bronze sculpture. Very popular bronze sculpture you have got from Mohenjo-Daro. Dancing girl. Another one is the Pashupati seal. Okay, so this is related to the Proto Shiva. Maybe the later Shaivite concept. Proto Shiva. Okay, so this is also there. So this is correct. This is correct. What about iron tools? Iron tools. So Harappan was basically a bronze civilization of a bronze age, and bronze was very much prominent. Iron was not discovered yet. Iron is coming in the later Vedic age only. Okay, so till then we don't have evidence regarding use of iron tools by this Harappan civilization. So this is wrong. Okay, so 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is wrong. Okay, 3 is wrong. So correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Next one, which of the following features was not found in Indus Valley civilization? Not found in Indus Valley civilization. Use of standardized weights and measures. Use of standardized weights and measures. Presence of large granaries. Domestication of horses. Advanced drainage system. This is one of the important features of this Harappan civilization. They used a very sophisticated and very advanced standardized weights and measures system. Okay, so that's very important. Next one, presence of large granaries. Again, this is also very much important. One of the important striking features of this Harappan civilization. So that was also there. And another one, what about this advanced drainage system? Again, this also very much important. So pits were there, the covered drains were there, and even the drains connected to different areas. So like that way, this is also one of the important striking features of this Harappan civilization. What about domestication of horses? Domestication of horses. Harappans were not having weapons, were less. Even the war was also very less. Even though domestication was there, domestication of particularly regarding horses were not seen anywhere. Even there were many of the historians or archaeologists say that there was no use of, I mean, there was no mention of horses anywhere in this Harappan civilization itself. So that is also there. So this we can discard. Okay, so which of the following was not found in Indus Valley civilization? Maybe domestication of horses. That was not explicitly said in this anywhere regarding this Harappan civilization. These are clearly seen. Okay, so maybe because of that we can discard that thing. Next one, consider the following statements about economy of Indus Valley civilization. Economy of Indus Valley civilization. The people of civilization practiced agriculture. Harappan had a very advanced agriculture. They had a very advanced agriculture and advanced irrigation system because of this Indus proximity with the Indus river. Okay, so this statement is correct. This statement is correct. The people of civilization practiced agriculture and irrigation. That is correct. They had extensive trade relation with Mesopotamia. Okay, so even in the Mesopotamian records itself, Indus region is believed to be mentioned as Meluha. Believed to be mentioned as Meluha. Okay, so like that way, they had, so with that way we can say that, and also the seals. In Mesopotamia, we have got the seals of Indus Valley civilization. So this statement is also correct. This statement is also correct. Okay, no evidence of animal domestication has been found. No evidence of animal domestication. Maybe domesticated foals was not found, but still other domestication like cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats. So that has been clearly discovered in this Harappan cities. Okay, so this statement is wrong. This statement is wrong. So which of the statements given above are correct? 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is wrong. Okay, so correct answer is 1 and 2 only. Okay, so these are the Correct answer. Okay, so these were some of the questions from the topic which you have discussed. So we have discussed regarding what is the location and extent of Indus Valley civilization, how it continued from the earlier prehistoric period. So the features of Indus Valley civilization, the phases of Indus Valley civilization, like the urban planning we have discussed, and also we have discussed regarding the how Indus Valley civilization declined. Okay, so after that, one theory which suggests the who replaced this people, the Harappan people were the Aryans. Okay, so the in between there is actually a dark period where we don't know exactly what happened. But still, after this, the uh, major settlement is coming during the Vedic period only. That came through the Aryans who came to India. So that we'll be discussing in our next class. Okay, all right. So that's it for today. Thank you.